Was there ever any doubt in Rohit Sharma and company's ability to pull off a win against the Minnows of Nepal? There was, you actually know. But they've cruised over the line by 10 wickets, courtesy a DLS win. 145 it was for them to chase 23 overs when it started, all around 10:15 or so in the night. But they've got the job done, they've got the points done, and of course, the inevitable Super Fours progress. You're watching the match review on cricket.com with me, Avnish Hegde, and as you can see, Nikhil is not there. It's Gurkirat and Somesh. I nearly said Nikhil Popat, but no, he was there part of the Monday Night Live. I'll start with Gurkirat here. Gurkirat, surely a good day for Nepal, remember, given the fact that they got 230, but again, inevitable result, right?
Yeah, the result was inevitable, but Nepal will take a lot of heart from this game, especially the way they batted and the way they batted against short ball. And it just I have a theory with regards to these smaller teams is that uh, their best chance is always if they're batting first against a big team because it somehow allows them to set up the pace of the game. Sometimes under the mountain of the big target that they have to chase, sometimes on occasions it just becomes really difficult. They really buckle under the scoreboard pressure. Last match that Nepal played, there was a partnership that was building, and then when they lost that wicket, they collapsed. But it didn't happen in this game. To some extent, you will have to blame Indian bowling for not being as penetrative. But overall, you saw far more contributions, and I just want to point out that they played Kuldeep Yadav pretty well. I mean, they did not try anything fancy, and yeah, they went after the balls that were there to be hit. Overall, this game will actually give Nepal a lot of heart in the long run, I believe.
You mentioned the spinners there, Gurkirat. Together, Jadeja and Kuldeep in the 20 overs, just conceding 74 and then 3 for 40 for Jadeja. I know Kuldeep went wicketless. So, what were the negatives for India? I mean, obviously, fielding came to the fore earlier on. We saw those dollies being dropped. Any other negatives from this match?
It's somehow in the starting bit they didn't seem to be that tuned into the game. That's the reason probably of those dropped catches. But overall, I felt it was one of the most poorest fielding performances from India I've seen in a pretty long time. Even in the ground fielding, there were too many overthrows. It just felt like they took this game lightly. I hope I'm wrong, but it is what it seemed like. Apart from that, I mean, I just Anirudh, our statistician, and I were having a discussion when India were bowling, and it has actually come to the fore that Indian pacers, whenever they see batters from 8 to 11, they somehow just try to bowl back of a length shot to them. That is an area where they have the highest economy and even the worst average. It's not like it's an area where you can uh, understand if the economy rate is high, but it is fetching them lower order wickets. It's not. And today also we saw that towards the tail end that every short ball was treated with disdain, and still Siraj was adamant to use that line. When Shami came towards the end, he took that. He bowled the natural length and got that nick. After that, Siraj also bowled a Yorker at the very end to finish it off. I think this is something that Indian bowlers will have to sort of learn that when it comes to 8 to 11, you don't have to be fancy. Just good hard lengths that you ball to the top order batters will work against the lesser players as well.
Absolutely. I think the word that you mentioned there was fielding, and I just want to throw this stat out right now because it's some stat of the day. In ODI since 2022, Gurkirat, Indian fielders have dropped 47 catches. Only the West Indies, who've not qualified for this year's tournament, have dropped more catches in this period. What does that tell you about India? Should they stop eating that much butter paneer, butter chicken?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an area of concern for some time now. We've had this discussion even before. There is talks about this being the rounds, and it's very difficult to point a finger at one particular factor. Is there an issue in technique, or is it just a case of players not being switched on? Also, out of these 47 catches being dropped, who are the ones dropping it the most? Because I believe India have played a lot of cricketers in the ODI format post the 2019 World Cup. So there could be a case where you could have around 12, 13 cricketers dropping 3 catches or 4 catches and across a period of game. So that also doesn't tell you a lot. So just that number as a whole may not tell you a lot about what is going wrong, but something is wrong. That's for sure. You cannot, like we've discussed this before, the three sitters that were dropped in the first 10 overs. I mean, Ishan Kishan's catch, it just looked that he was very casual, and you don't really see those kind of mistakes at any level from any of these players. So, don't know what really is the issue here, to be very honest.
Yeah, it makes you think. But look, fielding, more on that and lots more stats on cricket.com's website, and download the app, because I'll tell you, for starters, India's catching efficiency since that 2019 ODI World Cup is second worst compared to anyone, which is just quite ridiculous. Guys, want to just talk about any particular man of the match being dished out here? Because I'm trying to think of it. Jadeja, 3 for 40. Rohit and Gill, of course, not out at the end. Som, for you, anyone that you can point a finger on and say, yeah, this guy certainly dominated the day?
I think it has to be Jadeja, because it was essentially him who uh, sort of curtailed Nepal in the first innings. I was actually surprised that Jadeja's entry was pretty late. Given that there were two right-handers and they were playing pace really well, I would have wanted Rohit to sort of introduce Jadeja a little early. But this is nothing different. We've seen for a while now that the different Indian captains have their set template, and even in circumstances when they are challenged, they are a little reluctant to go away from the template. So for me, I think Jadeja is the obvious man of the match in this game.
Okay, Jadeja it is. By the way, lots of trivia as well. I want to just ask the boys and stump them if I can. Who am I? I, of course, the youngest player to captain against India in internationals. Now, today we saw Nepal, Rohit Paudell's captain, be the second youngest. And then there was Graham Smith way back in 2003. Any prizes? Any shouts for the prizes over here? 20 years and 317 days in 380. You can't Google it, Gurkirat. I've asked you this for a
I have
reason.
not googled it. Okay,
Go on.
I am going to take a guess. I don't know the name of the player, but I think it's 2018 and it happened in Asia Cup only. It was Hong Kong's captain, but I don't remember his name. It was Hong
Yeah.
Kong's captain. Is
So, do you think he's saying the right answer, or you're clueless?
From your reaction, it seems so, but yeah, maybe. I mean, Rashid Khan is a good guess. Yeah, Rashid Khan has been 18 for a while, or was 18 for a while.
No, I don't think Rashid Khan has captained a game against India. I don't
No,
think
I
that.
mean, I'm seeing that name in
I don't think
comments, so I won't be surprised. Actually, it has to be someone from the Asian system, because this is where you see a lot of youngsters coming in for whatever reasons.
That is true. So Gurkira did mention the right answer. It is Anshuman Rath, who was a Hong Kong captain
Oh
in
yeah,
2018. So he was, 20 years and 317 days. So well done, Rohit Paudel. And of course, you guys can check out more of the Nepal fan reaction in the Monday Night Live scene. Was absolutely brilliant. Lots of comments coming through as well. Pranav Anand, yes, you got it right. And Sanjay Papigiri, no, you haven't got it right. Also, I just want to just go back to one thing before I pull up a couple of prediction sheets that we had earlier. Now, this was basically the scorecard in case you missed it. Just a reflection, really. Nepal getting 230. Many people thinking, how the hell did they manage that? Well, they got a 65-run opening stand for starters. So that served them well. And as you can see there, Sheikh, Kami, Burtel, all amongst the runs, and India cantering home. So I just want to ask you, and I asked this to Nixon Akshay in the Monday Night Live, and it's kind of taking a page off that question. Do people look at this game tomorrow morning when they wake up and be like, kaise yaar, India 230 they conceded to Nepal. What will they do in the World Cup when they face England, Australia, and all of that? So does that show that India's bowling, which is the best bowlers, by the way, barring Bumrah, are question marks?
See, I don't think so. I mean, a lot of them, definitely Nepal played well. See, the point is, often the teams that don't play international cricket that often, or not among the test playing nations, you have a go-to. There are two things that becomes a natural sort of attack options to them. One is your pacers going short, and second is spin. And they actually, Nepal batters did well on both accounts. Now, the opener, I'll have to look the name up. Apologies. Just give me a moment. Asif Sheikh, yeah, of course. So one of the qualms that I had about a couple of Afghanistan players, Rahmat Shah and Shahidi to an extent, not yesterday, but in general, is that they play a lot of dot balls. And something similar happened with Asif Sheikh. But apart from that, uh, Nepal players, they played the short ball really well. And like Gurpreet has already mentioned, they tackled Kuldeep Yadav really well. So that is the case. I think it is not a reflection of India's bowling as such. Of course, Bumrah's presence will make them stronger. But at some point of time, you have to sort of look at a few factors that the playing 11 itself is a little scratchy. They've not played a lot of ODIs lately. Uh, and then drop catches never help anyone, right? I mean, all the three catches were sitters. So, I mean, that could have changed the complexion of the game completely. So yeah, but I mean, a few people like you uh, who were like 70 all out or whatnot. I mean, itne overs to 10 over mein itne runs to 10 over mein ban gaye the. But yeah, maybe they might be a little surprised. But overall, I don't think there is any cause for concerns apart from that 8 to 11 wala thing, which is a trend. And I think we have a graphic as well to showcase it.
Yeah, I'll plug that in because they were 144 for 6 when they lost Gulshan Shah, and they managed to eke out another, 86 runs. And it tells you, like what Somesh was telling us in his earlier point, and Gurkirat, you can come in here. Indian Pacers lengths against batters 8 to 11. So again, what is a startling number that you point and look at the screen?
The startling number for me is the percentage of balls which are full toss or Yorker. Now they add up to around 8%, 8.2%. Now I'm including full tosses as well because a lot of these full tosses could be attempted Yorkers gone wrong. Now, if you are attempting less than 10% Yorkers to the last four batters, then I feel it's a problem. It's either a problem of execution or it's a problem of uh, lack of confidence in your own skill. Because if you were to drop it, if you were to drop it in sheer numbers, uh, if you have a 15%, if you have a 15% ball percentage of Yorker and the full toss, that basically means you are attempting at least one Yorker out of six balls, one in an over. Now, 1 in 8 basically means that the one Yorker is being attempted to the last four batters in 12 balls. Right now, that I feel is too less. The other numbers come in later, uh, and yeah, I mean, and it's see out of those 6% Yorkers, they do have 3 wickets. So it's not that when they nail it that they don't get wickets, but otherwise, I yeah the fact that roughly 33 one third of their bowling percentage is back of length and short, and it's not yielding them anything. I mean, the economy is on the higher side, the average is on the higher side, the strike rates is on the higher side. So might as well stick to good length and not at least not give runs. See, if they stick to the good length, the economy is on the lower side. The strike rate is slightly higher, 23.4, but at least they're not leaking runs. So it clearly seems to be a case of wrong planning and then very low confidence in terms of their own skills to nail the Yorkers.
Absolutely, and I think you've coped with that graphic well because I nearly thought I threw you under the bus. But well done, Gurkirat. Literally brilliant stuff there. By the way, getting some powerful quotes out from the post-match presentation that's available on the cricket.com live blog. Go check that out. Rohit Paudel just going on to say that the openers did do a good job for us, but the middle order could have done better. So he has that element of humility, and they said that they could have posed a better threat if they had reached 260, 270. And another fun fact, most sixes in an Asia Cup innings for India in ODIs. It is Rohit Sharma with 5, but Ganguly had 7 against Bangladesh way back in 2000 in Dhaka. Guys, nothing else to talk about really. I know there is a big day tomorrow in terms of the Indian cricket team. 1:30 p.m. It's been confirmed that there will be a press conference between Rohit Sharma and Ajit Agarkar for, of course, announcing that final 15 out of 143 crore people. Som, just a quick one before we grab end proceedings. Actually, I'll start with Gurkirat and then get Som. Are you guys confident that they'll pick the right lads for the World Cup? 15 men.
See, I know the 15 that will get picked. I was on during the MNL show that you were doing, and I said that you cannot, you're You're bringing in Karnataka quota here. You're selecting Prasidh over Shami, and
I'm
you're
being a
selecting
heightist. I'm being a heightist because I'm 6'2" anyway, so I'm going for Prasidh
and
again.
and you've gone for Sanju over Surya Kumar Yadav. So I feel uh, like I've been saying, I think the squad is pretty straightforward. Out of the 17 or the 18 that got selected, Tilak Verma, Prasidh, and Sanju will not make it to the squad. The remaining 15 will. That's that's a squad for me. I think that is pretty straightforward. Sanju Samson will come in if in the squad, not in the 11 straight away. If there's an injury to KL Rahul or if KL Rahul is not fit in time, so that's what I feel the squad will be. I feel it's pretty straightforward. So would be India's selection. The only point of contention I still feel would be uh, do India play Akshar Patel for Shardul Thakur on pitches which have grip, or pitches which are on the slower side? That I think that is the only bone of contention when it comes to selecting the 11 when you have everyone fit and available.
Som, you agree?
Pretty much with the 15. I mean, the point is, if at all Prasad Krishna was to be the part of the squad ahead of Shami, he would have played today. So
Sure.
that is an indication enough. There is absolutely no reason to play Shami and then not have him in the World Cup squad. And judging by all the quotes that Surya Kumar Yadav has been handing out to people lately about him sorting issues out in Asia Cup and all, it has been truly communicated to him कि भाई आप हो squad में. Without that, I don't think anyone will have that confidence. Yeah, कि I'm looking forward to improving my game in the Asia Cup. I'm having conversations with Rohit, Virat, blah blah blah. So I don't think we are in for a surprise. And like I said in the preview as well, for me, there is the best 11 in the 15, and that is what I care about. Ideally, I don't agree with uh, uh, it being a 15-man squad, to be honest, because in this day and age, and the evolution in the game in terms of matchups and whatnot, 15 is pretty low size for a squad. I would have preferred at least 18 or not even 20. And if that is the case, I would have really wanted India to pick either Ashwin or Washington Sundar in the 11, because not in the 11, not in the squad, in a 18 or 20 man squad. The reason being, to come to Gurkirat's point, now if India had to play a spinner instead of Shardul at Lucknow against England, I mean, they would rather play an off spinner than another left arm spinner, because England, they'll have Malan, they will have Stokes, they'll have Sam Curran. So an off spinner might be more handy because you'll
Yeah,
already have Kuldeep and Jadeja.
yeah.
So that is where I'm coming from. But apart from that, I think the squad picks itself.
I agree
Yeah.
with you, Som. And Gurkirat, really quickly, because he's mentioned the fact that we don't have a single off spinner. Gautam Gambhir, who was with cricket.com 3 years ago, mentioned that he wants an off spinner, but we also don't have a left arm pacer. Is those two potential chinks, or you think no, it's fine? We'll go
we
with what we
we,
have.
we also don't have a mm, like, so far we don't know if Ishan Kishan is going to bat in the middle order on regular basis. But see, there are things that you can fix and there are things you can't fix. The ones you can't fix at the last point, it becomes sort of like force fitting, and that may not work as well. So you'll have to accept what is the best combination of players that you have uh, somewhere. And this is something that I've said about this management as well. Yes, a lot of things that they've done have not made sense and they have not been in line with their own processes that they talk about. But I don't think anyone can deny that both Rohit and Rahul have had the bad luck of injuries to their key players at very bad times. 2022 T20 World Cup, Jadeja and Bumrah not being there. Uh, and I don't think anyone could have guessed that Pant, Shreyas, and KL Rahul would all get injured in a space of few months together in a World Cup year, right?
Mhm.
Because from 2019 till now they were playing together. Yes, Pant was probably not in the first 11, but you know, if Pant was not there, India could have easily if KL Rahul was injured, India could have easily slated in Pant in the middle order, and that would have solved lot of issues without a lot of permutation and combinations going into the in the game. But yes, now there are few things that can't be fixed right now. You'll have to accept it. I don't think that last moment changes are going to change anything.
And a lot of
Mm.
people in the chat are saying rightly so, same thing. So sorry, carry on.
No, just wanted to add to what Gurkirat has said. I think as much as we have criticized this management, and I would say rightly criticized the management, Of the three formats, I feel ODIs is something that they've planned for the best. There are a lot more question marks in the way they have approached T20, a lot more question marks in which they have approached Test, or at least selecting the 11 on certain occasions. But I think ODIs was planned well in advance. Prasid coming back directly from an injury into the squad is sort of an highlight, because they always knew that they're looking at Prasid Krishna from a World Cup lens. Now, Prasid Krishna is not a proven Glenn McGrath, so to speak. I mean, it's a big ask of someone like him to come into the World Cup squad directly. You can very well make an argument that he has not really done enough to earn that. Even after a long injury layout, he's still part of the squad. But they've stuck to him because that is what they've planned long back. The only issue that I have had regarding this ODI squad is that you always were planning for 6 right-handers in the top 6. This Ishan Kishan experiment could have been tried way before. They could have done it in the Australia series. They could have done. Definitely they should have done it in the West Indies series. They have left it a little too late, and that is why that debate is still ongoing of whether.
But they
to
still
go
have
with,
9 games, so they still have 9 games till the World Cup, including the warm-ups.
I mean, I don't know. You are taking warm-ups a little too seriously. I don't think warm-ups. You can't judge anything through warm-ups.
And we really don't know how are the remaining games in this Asia Cup going to play out given the weather. So
Whether
that's,
yeah.
that's another factor.
Yeah, 3 Australia ODIs is all now India have, and I just hope that whatever they have planned for the first 11, which I feel should be Ishan Kishan just because it balances the 11 better, they should stick to it.
I just have one thing to say, for with regards to Somesh saying that the squad could be a 17 or an 18 member squad. Uh, in the 2015 World Cup, India had Dhawal Kulkarni as one of the support staff. Maybe they could try something like that this time. The good thing from an Indian perspective purely is that the World Cup's in India, so if a player gets injured, you could literally have that player available the next day. You don't have to worry about visa. You don't have to worry about the flying time. Literally, if a player is injured in the evening, tomorrow morning you could have that player available with you. That's a really huge advantage in terms of uh, picking players if there's an injury happening, because other teams may not have this advantage.
Yeah.
We've had issues where players are not able to make it to the venue because of visa issues or flight timings, etc., that happens. So this is a huge advantage.
And it will happen. I think it will be a miracle if the 15 men that are selected tomorrow are the 15 men that are on that podium, if at all India end up winning that World Cup. It'll be a miracle if it's the same 15.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I can confirm it should be the same 15 because we've just heard from Rohit Sharma in that post-match press conference, beg your pardon, presentation, where he was also adjudged the man of the match. He admitted that the fielding was bad. He admitted that they've got a complete tournament so far. But the pertinent quote is this, as you can see. When we came here to Sri Lanka, we knew that our World Cup 15 is going to be like. The Asia Cup was not going to give us a picture because there's 2 games. And Rohit Sharma saying that confidently. So I'm guessing at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon, we'll have the answers in front of us. And I'll tell you what, it makes for more viewing to check out that Afghanistan Sri Lanka precursor, the preview that we normally do at 2:25. We'll talk about Afghanistan Sri Lanka, but we'll also speak about that India 15-member squad. Obviously, I love trivia, and I want to end the show just by puzzling you guys a little bit more and the viewers. And here's the second Who Am I? Now, Jadeja, of course, got 3 for today, Som and Gurkirat, which makes him taking the most wickets for India in Asia Cup ODIs, 22 and 15 innings. Then you have Irfan Pathan. But what I want to know is who's third on this list, boys? कौन है? महान इंसान कौन है?
15 innings basically means 15 ODIs. That means at least 3 Asia Cups, and it's only the ODI format. So the last ODI format Asia Cup was 2018. 2016 was again 2020 a T20 format. 2014 was an ODI format. 2012 was ODIs. Jadeja is already there. I'll take a very calculated guess. I think it will be Ashwin.
Okay.
Ashwin or Shami, one of them.
Okay, nice shouts. So,
I think I know the answer. I think it's that man. Was it 2004 Asia Cup when he started bowling around the wicket from leg side and all, foxing batters, bowling at the death?
Shall we quote a good line from Sacred Games? Apun Bhagwan ko mante ho Gurkirat?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
the answer is
it's Sachin.
Sachin Tendulkar. Yeah.
It is Sachin Tendulkar, 17 for the great man in 15 innings. And like so mentioned, all those years ago in
He was
2004.
India's designated death bowler in the 2004 Asia Cup. Round the wicket to righties, pitching outside leg stump to a properly set field.
He was actually doing that against Pakistan in that ODI series at home. There was a game in Ahmedabad, 48 over game. Sachin scored 100, and last over he had to bowl against Inzamam, if I'm not wrong, 6 runs to get. And he had that tactic. He was coming around the wicket, bowling leg spin, where the ball would pitch outside the leg stump and go away. Last ball, 1 run was needed. Inzamam was able to find a boundary, but it was a very good game in Ahmedabad.
I mean, honestly, good memories, man. Great quizzes as well that we do. And sports fan, yep, you got it right, but no prizes. Kedar Jadhav, no chance, Nani Kaur, and not Harbhajan Sanjay Papigiri as well. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Who would have thought that an India-Nepal one-day international would be 8.5 hours? I know that the rain was the most welcome guest, but still, it's made our life miserable on a Monday. But look, we love doing things for you guys on cricket.com, bring you out all the content. We'll be here tomorrow as well, like I said, and the week ahead. We have some fantastic things planned heading into the World Cup. So give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you're new. Thanks, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen. Som and Gurkira, it's always been a pleasure. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And my producer is just irking me to just put out this last bit saying, show the group stage predictions, because tomorrow Afghanistan, Sri Lanka get over. Sri Lanka is what me and Som and
Me.
Nikhil have gone for Sri Lanka. I've gone for Afghanistan with Gurkirat, so hoping Afghanistan qualify. But as you can see, we've all kind of got our predictions right. Super Fours will start. Cricket content will be
Yeah.
your destination, and we'll end proceedings there. Sorry, Som, you wanted to say something?
No, I just want to say I think mathematically Bangladesh are through. Afghanistan will have to really win big, and if they win big, Sri Lanka is the one that will crash out.
The Asian Cup specialist. Imagine that. Who would have thought? All you 25 people have
By
a
the way,
glorious Tuesday.
we are confirmed. By the way, officially now it is confirmed that the coming Sunday would be an India-Pakistan fixture.
Yeah,
Officially,
and I have very good sources revealing the fact that it might not be in Colombo and they might shift to Dambula.
Oh my word. Oh my. I wish I could play that Jesha meme right now and end the show. But instead, I will just end it with our beautiful end screen. Thank you all for watching. It's a good night and goodbye from us. See you guys shortly.